Please click the subscribe button and the notification icon. It will help us a lot.
Well, actually, that's a good question because, well, first I'd say the animation industry has changed radically within the past, I'd say, 20 years because of digital. So before that, I think, well, not only, yeah, I mean, digital in animation, but also digital technology and communication in general has completely revolutionized this world, and not just this world, like every single field, I'd say. So, I mean, originally, before I came here, pretty much everything about animation was mostly in LA. You know, it's like there were lots of small things around, you know, like even in Europe, you know, there were always like small studios doing like TV animation and small things for, you know, just small TV series. I mean, there were Ninja Turtles, you know, like you look at it and it's like, yeah, I mean, I was lucky to start with this because it was actually a pretty big series. But now, I mean, things have completely changed. I mean, there's like avenues pretty much everywhere, and there's like video games that also, you know, change the whole landscape. So there's lots and lots of avenues for animation and animation artists. Whatever you do, even for myself, who was just like into, you know, drawing and painting, and eventually I was, you know, a background painter for a long time, and then became art director. But then, yeah, in the beginning of the 2000s, I had to completely like retrain myself and like readapt to the new landscape because I felt like I was just dropping down. And it's like, you know, if you didn't have knowledge, I mean, if you even today, if you don't have knowledge at all of like the CG animation and the new tools and how things are working, you're lost. I mean, I've known so many professionals of that time, of like 20 years ago, who actually left the job and left the field because they felt they couldn't readapt. And so I think at some point it was like really important to readapt. And Europe has changed in that way, and France same, you know, in the way that they're using the new technologies to benefit that field, to expand and to just like do things that weren't possible before, that were only possible here because you had more support from, you know, the whole system. Not that France, I think what the French system needs, and actually not just the French system, but Europe in general, is a better financial support. And, you know, the fact is you get big projects when you have big financial support. And right now we're still, you know, you still see amazing projects coming out from schools, from young people who are passionate and who have talent and who are able to do a lot with very little. You know, they get off-the-shelf softwares and then they do amazing shorts. But it remains like something still isolated. Eventually they get absorbed into a bigger machine, you know, the general field of animation, and then they get onto projects, and those projects are, you know, financially strong or supported or not. But at that point, this is where we stand in France. We have to have stronger. We have to have financiers who are willing to take more risks. You know, just like in the U.S., it's like if you don't take risks, you don't see big rewards. You know, it's like, and you have to also know how to pick your project. So, and there's growing talent in France, particularly in the video game industry. But that video game industry could definitely, you know, spill over onto the animation industry, because it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, very similar. So there's still lots to do in terms of like educating people, improving the system, and just like supporting, have a stronger supporting base for all the animation industry in France and in Europe.